Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our weekly highlights. And today is after the election. And I think everyone is waiting for 2 p.m. whether who can send in the PM candidate to Istana Negara. And we're still waiting. But I think it seems like if you look into shares like ASB or even Triven, everyone is actually betting on these two. But Triven seems like taking a mild breather, and ASB is taking the lead. So, I mean, based on just share price itself, we may see that, Pakatan Harapan may have a chance because ASB will reflect the sentiment on Anwar, and while the Triven may represent the sentiment on Muhyiddin. So basically, what I can see here is ASB may be taking a lead, or Anwar Ibrahim may be taking a lead. But let's see what happens. During 2 p.m. later on. So KLCI wise did not, perform very well in the morning itself. It has went down to as low as 21 points, down 1.5% down to 1427. It later rebounded in the hopes of Pakatan Harapan could be taking a role in the to form the government, but if this outcome is not what the market wants later on, then the market may tank further. So that is my understanding on this current moment. As of now, we still see that Pakatan Harapan has some good hopes that it may continue to go up. But if you look into all these scene related counters, they have recovered quite well since the morning sell down. But I believe later on there is more clarity. It's either back to normal 450, or back to the earlier or even lower than earlier position of 4 ringgit level, okay, for Genting. So need not to say much. Today's volatility is contributed by the election, and we still haven't has anything concrete or solid yet. So we will have to monitor and see down the road. You can see that most of these sectors or most of the market breadth, are down. This is just reflecting the situation whereby we have a hung parliament. It is contributing to the sell down phase of the whole broader market, because this is the first time where we went into the worst case scenario. Given that we have 3 scenarios out of the election, we are getting the hung parliament scenario. This is the first time, and we are, the market seems like not so favorable on this situation, and therefore it has been seeing some sell down. But nevertheless, you can still see some good counters that is going up. Technology stocks being up, healthcare being up. I think this is due to they have value, and it is political neutral. Likely to benefit from COVID cases in the China. And technology-wise, I think it's due to the rebound in the US, and also it is also considered as apolitical sectors, given that who actually win as the government will not impact too much on technology stocks. So I guess they are sort of being a defensive nature in this scenario. So I think there could be some upside to some of the stocks out there, like Grid Tech, Penta, Me. Okay, all these are sort of like apolitical stocks right now. Okay, so other than that, you can see consumer products, I think, being dragged down by Genting Malaysia, Heineken, Carlsberg, Magnums, SP Totos. Basically, all the SIN stocks are the top lagging counters for now. We think this could, reverse if Pakatan Harapan takes the lead to form the government. But if Perikatan Nasional is taking the lead, then sentiment on all these encounters will be affected. Affecting them, some of the catalysts that is affecting them negatively would be potential policies changes, or softer, I mean, lower down their operating hours and things like that. I mean, these are some of the things that we can think of as the market is selling down the shares. I mean, why are they being punished, right? So that could be one of the several reasons. But I'm still thinking that it's not too bad, as long as they are not closing shop or shutting down their business operation. I think that is sort of a progressive move by Perikatan Nasional going forward, to see a multiracial country. I think they will not, punish these corporates too much, and they are also bringing in taxes to them. So why not, best of both worlds, right? So my thinking is that, right now, if there's a sell down, I think this could be time to accumulate on sin counters. I think it will not be too bad going forward, and especially those that has operation overseas, like Genting. Genting captures not only domestic revenue, but they capture international revenues, so on and so forth. I think they should be, turning positive going down the road. As long as they're not shutting their operations, I think it still makes sense. Okay, so yeah, once again, I think we will, sort of summarize the events right now, because we are still waiting for the outcome of the situation for the G15, and things are so fluid. One second, some people is supporting Pakatan Harapan. That the other moment, people, I mean, the same party members are already saying that they wouldn't support. So it's a mixture of uncertainty right now. But the longer it takes, the worse. I mean, the weaker sentiment will be seen on the local front, and especially right now, after 2.5 days, we still haven't gotten a government. Is certainly not a decent situation for Malaysia. But once we have that sort of a concrete government, then perhaps that would be a much better position for us to enter the market. But nonetheless, you also can actually monitor those apolitical sectors. Telco, utilities, consumers. Those are the things that not really affected too much. I would say that as long as the food necessity, food security kind of consumer stocks, I think should be doing fine. Yeah. Okay, so back to our daily picks. Let me share another screen for now. Okay, um, so just to give you some snapshot on the Dow Jones or Wall Street, basically, what I want to point this out is that we still see that there are some chances that Wall Street can actually continue to fall further. I would say that we have been seeing only the Dow Jones going up above the S&P 200, and not the S&P and also the Nasdaq. You can see that S&P 500 is still below the S&P 200, although it seems like it can continue to sustain from this point of 3489 towards the 4065. But I believe that there could be some selling pressure coming off. I mean, selling pressure emerging near towards the S&P 200 zone, similar like what happened during this period of time. And we might be taking that route for the Wall Street or S&P 500. And even if you look into Nasdaq, is also a weaker position as compared to S&P and also the Dow Jones. Similarly, we have that Nasdaq is still hovering below the 12,165, which is the S&P 200 zone. And I think this is still some place that we should be monitoring for sell-offs. But even when the rebound happens during the previous months, it did not really cross and touches the SMA 200. It is just hovering around. Let me check. Yeah, about 2% away from the SMA 200 that time. So I think if you are looking into this round, I think 2% range would be the position that you might want to take it as a range that people will sell the shares near towards the 12,000 level. But at the same time, if the Nasdaq can retest the SMA 200, then this round of buying support is much stronger than last round, and there is a chance of it breaking above the SMA 200. So it depends on how you look at it. It should stay around the 12,000, below 12,000 level. My prediction. But again, if they can revisit the SMA 200, then it may have a chance of surpassing the SMA 200 level, because the buying momentum is stronger than the last round rebound. So that's why this round itself is very crucial for us to see whether there is a trend change or not. Okay, but you know. All in all, we are seeing the decoupled move of S&P 500 versus the Dow Jones Index, because Dow Jones is just comprises of 30 counters, but S&P comprises more than 500 counters in Wall Street. I mean in the US, and therefore it is some sort of a broader sentiment indicator that we should be looking at. Okay, so right now seems like doesn't it seems like it is still mixed in the US, and I think there are more downside risks than upside reward at this moment. Okay, so oil price, it is still uh, hovering around the 85 towards 100 US dollar mark. I think right now, as long as the sort of Ukraine Russia tension is still persisting, still prolonging going forward, I think the 84, 85 US dollar mark will continue to remain as support. But once this Ukraine-Russia tension is being resolved, then perhaps we can see a good amount of selling pressure to come in to sell down the oil prices lower, in perhaps towards 80 or even 76. Never know what will happen to Ukraine-Russia tension as of this juncture. But certainly this pullback is contributed by China, as they have confirmed that more cases has been seen on the COVID, and that is why demand seems like it's slowing down. So this is just how we translate, COVID cases higher equivalent to lower demand for oil price, and oil price has been falling. So these are interlinked catalysts. Okay, so but one thing that worries me is that this might be a turning point. This might be a turning point for oil price downwards. I'm not too sure what is the catalyst out there to point them downward and see further selling pressure. But if you notice, this has been flattening, and if it's falling, then the SMA 200 is declining trend. It should be quite similar to like CPO prices, like seems like this, flattening out around this area, then pointing downward means there will be more consolidation phase throughout the near term. So we shall wait and see what happens. But based on the technical analysis support and resistance point of view, 85, 83 will be the support. Resistance will be around the 99 to 100 US dollar mark. Okay. So today itself, if you look at FBM KLCI, it is falling, but it has been rebounding quite sharply from 1427 towards 1442. Seems like people are still banking on Pakatan Harapan to form the government, and therefore that is why the market is going up, and ASB is also up. So these two is pointing towards potential forming of government, and the government might led by Anwar Ibrahim. So that is just from the sentiment of the market. Or the expectation of the market right now. But if the outcome is not what favors the market, and it is falling into the other coalition, and then we might see the reverse of trend for FBM KLCI or the ASB. Counter ASB. Yeah. So right now we are still unsure what is going to happen, but for sure that this is likely to. I mean, hung parliament is not the ultimate outcome. Definitely, we will confirm to have one government. Depends on whether is it simple majority or is it a two-thirds majority. Yeah. So what I can see from here is that at least now it is still positive because it is hovering around the 1427 support. Initially, I thought that hung parliament it would cause the more severe sell down towards 1380 or even 1300. But seems like it is being well supported by the banks, and several other companies are rebounding. So that's why. Even though Genting Malaysia is being sell down, it doesn't affect them too much for now. So KLCI wise is negative, but on the rebound phase, depending on whether is it the outcome of the market prediction forecast, and if it is not, then it might continue to sell down further. Another way of look at it is, right now is hung parliament. People buy on the idea that they are going to form a government soon, and therefore there is a certainty. So that's why the rebound move happens. But if it is just a simple majority, then we are likely to see the swing or the trading mode over the next couple of years will be ranging around the 1400 to 1700 range. For us to beat above the 1600 level is also quite tough already. So, if we want to have that 1,600 being breached or this level being, surpassed, we need to see a very strong coalition and a strong government to move the policies going forward, and that will impact more, impact positively on the stock market going forward. So, the just now what we have mentioned about the three scenarios: one is hung parliament, one is simple majority, one is two-thirds majority. So, hung parliament, we can see further downside risk, but I am not too sure when it will end. I hope that it will end by today. Then we can at least have a simple majority. And simple majority, the range of trading will be around 1004 towards 1006, as usual, as the past 2 years trading, because those are the days that is under Muhyiddin and also Ismail Sabri. That is the time whereby the range bound happened about the 1004 towards 1600 points level. And thirdly, if we have the two-thirds majority being in place, then we can actually expect 1600 points and above for KLCI. But for the time being, I think slim chance to happen for the two-thirds majority. But from hung parliament to the current position of simple majority, I think is quite workable. Okay, so yep. So that is about those those scenarios that we are mentioning, and basically the direction of the KLCI is still uncertain. I am thinking that more downside risk than upside reward for the time being. Okay. So on stock wise, we have come up with 8 counters, but most of the counters are not really performing. You can see that Anju has been just turning sideways, AYS turning sideways. E-frame managed to break out higher above the 775. Ecomate continued to stay lower. Genotech still above SMA 200. This is quite surprising. And MFLA managed to rebound higher. Nescon still above the SMA 200, and P Metal still within the sort of trend which is under the consolidation phase. So let's go through one by one to see, well, is there any opportunity of trading towards the market closing today. I think for Andrew itself, it is quite clear cut that it has come out from the flag formation breakout above the 95-96 cent zone. Right now, it's a 2-day consolidation phase. I think there could be some sideways move before the next up run would come. And the 109 currently is trading at 109. I'm expecting the range bound will take a few more days before the strong breakout above the 111 level. Target will be around the 123 towards 130 near the SMA 200 level. Okay, so this Anju. AYS managed to also rebound from the 46 cents level this morning, although there is some sell down phase, but I think it is already well absorbed. And we are monitoring for a good rebound and breakout above the 48 cents level. And if they can actually break out above that level, the next target will be around um, 51 towards 54 cents zone. And E-frame, okay, Ephraim has been going up higher, and this is certainly in the good uptrend position that is hovering around the 74.5. Today, there's a good breakout. Hopefully, that this can sustain. I think towards 80 cents or even 90 cents or even 1 ringgit, it is quite achievable. And especially, they are also under a very strong growth trajectory in terms of their earnings. So that's why you can see that it has been supported by earnings and it has been growing quite well throughout time. Okay, and next we have EcoMate. EcoMate is under a good consolidation phase. Last week itself, it has many times that traded towards the 72.5 cents level, and managed to close at 73.5. So hopefully today it is still quite similar to close around the 73.5, and hopefully there's a good breakout. Then this could be telling us that this might be into the tail end of the consolidation phase. Hopefully that could be a breakout and rebound higher to a 75.5 and also 78 cents level. Cut loss is located around the 72 cents. Okay, for uh, for the technology stocks, I think Genentech is one of the sort of good performer as of this juncture. You can see that it has been surpassing the SMA 200 and managed to rebound above the SMA 200 zone. Similar case that we have seen is this part here, but this is having a very strong stretch since 186 towards 268 level. This is just 1 ring 99 cents towards 240. So it has not been rallying too much yet, and right now it has been showing us some signs of potential continuation pattern above the SMA 200. So definitely, if you want to trade on this counter, 2 ringgit and 30 cents, 2 ringgit and 31 cents will be the cut loss position for Genentech. And next, we are looking at 248 to cover the gap around 251, and hopefully the next one is 261. So this will be the range that we are anticipating for Genentech for the time being. Enfla, it is under the consumer sector. Last week itself, it has started to break out strongly above the 55 cents, hitting the SMA 200 zone. Hopefully that this round, it can be turning into a good consolidation phase along 56, 58 cents level, and hope for a breakout above the 59 cents level. For the time being, next target will be located around 61.5 towards 64 cents and also 66.5. Okay, so this will be the range that we are looking at this moment for MFLA. Um, Nascon is located near towards SMA 200, currently in the consolidation phase. We are looking at this as the W-shaped formation, and this is hopefully looking as W-shaped, and the breakout could happen already last week. And we are waiting for this to continue to hover around this level before the rebound happens towards a higher position around the 50 cents or even towards the 53 cents level. So I think we can actually monitor this as a good position for the Nascon Berhad to charter new territory higher towards the 50 and 53 cents level. Okay. Last counter for today before we take questions. Make sure you have already liked the video and also share the video out to get the sharer badge, and your question will be taken later on. And we will take one or only those that has the sharer badge on it. So it's as usual, you have a share badge, you will be able to review your stocks. Okay. So for P metal wise, you can see this is already hovering along the 4 30 cents level 2 weeks or 3 weeks back. Then suddenly there's a surge ahead of the election week 11 November. Then after that, it has pulled back right now. rebounding off also near towards the 4 ringgit 56 cents level at this current moment. We could anticipate further upside towards the 5 ringgit and 3 cents towards 5 ringgit 23 cents level for press metal. So I think press metal is also part and parcel of earnings play. So hopefully that earnings can come in much stronger, and that should allow further upside potential for the counters higher. Okay, so these are some of the 8 companies for today. If you have, you know, questions, you can put into the comment section, and we will take it from there. We have another, 3 to 4 minutes to go for now, and yeah, okay. So I think a lot of people will be asking what is the beneficiary of counters if PN is winning, or PN led the government, or PH led as a government. What is the impact towards the stock market, and also sectors? What are sectors that we can focus? I think first thing first, if Pakatan Perikatan Nasional is taking a more aggressive stance right now, the market might be thinking that the scene counters might be one of the hit. Okay, one of the hit. But my view is that if the scene counters is going down, it will not be long, because to uh, because we are seeing that not no single coalition is biggest right now that can t- overturn the policies of some of these policies going forward. So I believe that there is still balance, check and balance in Parliament, even though if Perikatan Nasional is there. The current weakness in the share price may be a good opportunity to beef up some good shares within these sin counters, as long as they can provide you a much higher dividend as of this moment, in terms of their dividend yield is higher than 6 or 7%. I think it's worthwhile looking at it, and downside risk should be limited going forward. Although there is risk and P multiple, people that wants to give sin counters might be lower, but at the same time we should be anticipating that um, more or less it shouldn't have too much of changes, unless you're talking about sin taxes, yeah, during the budget, and perhaps if the operation hours and all these policies might be changing, it will be under the state policies rather than the federal government policies. Okay, so for Perikatan Nasional, what is the potential positive ones that I could think of is definitely the Sharia related counters. I think that will benefit those Islamic hub, Sharia hub, and those all this related to insurance or banks that has some sort of relation to Islamic related should benefit. Okay, so that is the idea behind that coalition. Market is thinking that in that manner, so they would react in the market respectively. Okay, so for Pakatan Harapan, I think it's more or less the change in the country. So changes will be painful, and corporations is not corporation friendly, and therefore corporations might be hit. So what I can think of is on a brighter side. We can think of telco utilities, renewable energy. I think is certainly one of the segment that um, the Pakatan Harapan might focus on, and those are the things that you can actually look at if Pakatan Harapan wins. But again, short-term pain, long-term gain. That is for sure of the. I mean that is thinking of the market by then on this Pakatan Harapan being the as a government. So depends on who is winning the game later on, and we will monitor closely, and we will send out messages as quickly as possible on what is our thoughts during once the government is concrete to announce by then. Okay, so we have two companies to review. One is Mars Steel, one is Meta. Sorry, Beta. So Mars still is still banking on the recovery in terms of property companies in China, especially after the 16-point plan has been released by China. there is an opportunity to look at steel related companies. So Mars Steel has been, rallying strongly from gapping up from 26.5 towards 29.5, rallying towards 40.5 cents. Managed to, I think, capture 60-70% uh, rebound from this initial position. So I think based on this, it's not just the reopening of rekindling of the China property market. I believe is also part and parcel of earnings might be stronger than expected, and therefore this could continue to sustain. The momentum might sustain towards 42.5 or even 46.5 cents level, and support right now I think should be located around 36 towards the 38 cents zone for Mars Steel. I think it's very bullish, but you also have to be careful when it is such a strong move that might reverse quickly as well, and this might be overbought at around around the 40.5 towards 42.5 cent zone. So I think that range we should be taking a slightly cautious view. Okay, so Betamac continues to fall further. I think earlier on, people are banking on Mahathir related counters to trend higher, but it has shown you the trend that it is not really in favor. Unlike ASB is really in the uptrend tone, but Betamax seems like it's already telling you that that coalition, that party might not be winning too much of seats, and therefore it didn't materialize. I mean, it materializes that the party is not really winning too much. Unlike ASB, you can see that ASB has been forming a very good uptrend tone since going into the election week, and it seems like ASB has been also rebounding from 10 cents to 19.5 cents in a single day, and this shows that people might be betting a lot on Anwar Ibrahim to form the government going forward. Okay, so Betamac, I think based on the current position, it shouldn't rally too much. It should just hover around the 40 cents to 45 cents zone as the resistance point, and so for the time being, I think we should be uh, seeing some good rebound move along the 38 cents. So anything that is going to rebound off 38 cents could be a good position to enter for rebound play, but I don't think you should, because the risk is much higher right now. It is still downtrend position. There is no higher high, higher lows formation along these few bars yet. So I think downside risk is still more than upside reward. Okay, so these are the two counters for the session. I guess there are no other questions. Thank you so much for tuning in into our weekly highlights, and perhaps we can give you more insights from the Telegram and a Skype group going forward. Your once your dealers or reminders is able to capture our updates, they will send to you. Okay, so thank you so much, and see you again next week. Bye bye.